All set? Okay. Good morning. Welcome to the Delaware County Council meeting, June 28th, 2022, here in Delaware County Commissioner's Courtroom. I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. If everybody would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And Tony, would you like to start us?
I pledge allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Again, just a reminder, questions from the public can be directed to the County Council email address at countycouncildist@co.delaware.in.us. Also, your county council persons are available throughout the month through email, cell phones, however you want to get a hold of them. And we will have public comment at the end if there is any public comment. Denise, was the agenda posted, advertised?
Yes.
Thank you. I would entertain an approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Oh, wait a minute.
Motion from Piper, second from Ballard.
You want to take roll call first?
I guess we should do that. Let's go to the roll call.
You're getting me all out of whack here. Okay.
Wasn't on my agenda today.
Mr. Ballard,
Here.
Ms. Chambers, Ms. Lassiter.
Here.
Ms. Piper.
Here.
Mr. Quakenbush.
Here.
Mr. Webb.
Here.
Mr. Alexander.
Here.
Mr. Freeman.
Here. I was just moving right through
Okay.
there. We've got a motion from Piper, second from Ballard on the agenda. Roll call, please, Donna.
Okay. Mr. Ballard,
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter.
Yes.
Ms. Piper.
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush.
Yes.
Mr. Webb.
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes. And before we get into the approval of the minutes, I'd just like to take a minute. I think Councilman Webb's got an announcement maybe. Congratulations to Councilman Webb on the birth of his child. You want to say anything?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, we welcomed a little girl. We named her Eleanor Ryan. We call her Ellie. 7 pounds, 13 ounces, perfectly healthy, and yeah, she's been a great addition to the family. So she's number 6. So
Plus
Yes.
the fur babies.
yes, plus three Dobermans. Yeah. So on top of that, yeah, and the last one was 14 years ago. So it's,
Comment.
what's that?
When we had our 5th, my wife's threatened to name it quits.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's been a real blessing. The Lord blessed us, so we're very thankful, and I appreciate all of your congratulations and all your prayers and your well wishes. We were blessed to receive them. So thank you all for everyone who reached out and who prayed silently. We appreciate that.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Scott.
All right, and I'd entertain approval of the May 24th and the special meeting on May 31st minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Ballard. Any questions, corrections, changes? Okay, if not, roll call, please, Donna.
Ms. Lassiter.
Yes.
Ms. Piper.
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush.
Yes.
Mr. Webb.
Yes.
Mr. Ballard.
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes. All right, next item, we've got budget dates for 2023 budget. Donna, I talked to you about starting that the Wednesday after Labor Day, and we'll go for sure Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then as needed. On there, everybody okay with that? That's our kind of our normal days. I checked with Jenny, the room's available, and she's got it marked off for us, correct? All right, thank you.
7th through the 9th.
That mirrors what we did last year as well.
Correct.
Right after Labor Day, and do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Do we schedule a set time for Wednesday? Or Wednesday, yeah, start time. Do we usually start at like
Start at
8:30, 9?
I think I'll have to look at my agenda.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think,
Public hearing at 8:30?
yeah, I think we have a public hearing at,
Yeah, public hearing at 8:30, and then we start through all the departments.
Well, I'd like to go into, go with that similar order that we did last year. We had some of the larger departments
Well,
first.
I'm gonna go through and do it, and then I'm gonna send it to you and see if you wanna make any changes.
Okay.
You guys say
I can give somebody an hour and they might take
7th, 8th, 9th.
30 minutes, and I can give somebody 15 and they take,
Sure.
the only person I'm really concerned about is 911. I don't know if you want to give him more time since he talks a lot. Sorry. And with him being new, that was the one department I wasn't sure what you wanted me to do.
Probably is not a bad idea.
We love you, Fred.
I like that you talk a lot. I like it.
He knows it, I already told him.
I got a comment.
I told him I was gonna give him more time.
After finance meeting, he and I had a chat for a while, and as we were leaving, I said, well, one thing you can agree on, you and I like to talk a lot.
Trust me, you're a good pair.
Oh,
They all start at 9, September
7th.
8th and 9th.
We'll start the schedule at 9. It goes all
Right,
2 days.
right.
Yeah. So then,
yeah,
I'll
just
make
like,
one up and send it to you, and you can look at it, and
just like last year, we'll go through all the departments hopefully the first day. So we'll be here till, block off that entire day. And then we'll meet as needed over the next 2 days. And then I'm sure we're not going to get done there. So we'll schedule those additional meetings
not done.
as we need to, and we'll have to give auditor's office time to figure and all that stuff, so.
Okay, I need adoption date also. Are you gonna,
Well, last year, we'd talked about holding that off, but that's up to you guys. I just, hate to publish the adoption date and then have to
I
change
have
it.
to.
Well, what I mean is the last few times, we've had to publish the date, and then we've had to change that date, so
Yeah.
if we get too aggressive on the adoption date.
Yeah, but I have to advertise it in the very beginning regardless if it gets changed or not.
When do you need to know on that? Today?
No.
Okay, let's,
Soon.
'cause we don't need to pass the adoption date on a public meeting or anything. We can just decide when that is and advertise it. 'Cause you and I can talk about that and, okay. That okay?
Remember what
All
it was
right.
last year?
Huh?
Love that you have that.
What?
Don't remember when do you remember? Donna, do you happen to remember when we adopted last year? I feel like we pushed it back.
Oh,
We
it
did.
was October the 28th at 1 o'clock.
Oh, well, there we go.
Okay.
We want to start doing.
Let's hold off on the adoption date until we see a little more what we're looking at budget-wise. I'll talk about it at the end of the meeting, but I'd like to talk about having a special meeting either in July or early August to try and talk about some salaries and some departments to come in and talk to us about that. And I think that would maybe speed up some of those presentations at budget time, so. All right, with that, we'll move on. After last month, I went ahead and worked with Ben on getting an ordinance done, defining the terms, establishing procedures for hiring, implementing the salaries for county employees, excluding merit officers. This is over the 90% reduction, and we've got another updated version of that ready. Most of that was the same as the long version, and we do have a number on that. I think Denise, is that
18, yes.
2022 dash?
Is it 18 or 19?
I thought it was 19.
I thought it was 19. Well, it makes no difference, whatever's next. It's just
I
your-
had 18.
Okay.
Okay, so 2022
018.
018, all right. And I would entertain a motion, yeah,
It's all right.
I mean, I got this so late, I haven't had time to go through it and completely compare it to the previous. But I noticed on here that down at the bottom, This ordinance will repeal, replace prior ordinances, blah, 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 blah. Why did it not repeal 2019-017? Why was that one not included? Because,
We just did.
uh,
That we
No.
just did.
No.
this one, because I went through all these that it says it's repealed and they have to do with part-time, they've got to do with, well, mostly part-time rates, 90%. Same way with 2019-017, but it's not included in these numbers down here.
What is 2019-17?
It's part-time for the coroner.
I honestly, I probably just missed it when going through all of the, trying to find all of the ordinances that dealt specifically with salaries, but, depending on the council's pleasures, whether or not you intend to pass it, we can amend the ordinance to include that, and then I can update the actual text language to include it as a completely
You might
incorporated.
want to read it all first before you do that, but
Is it untimely to wait a month? I haven't seen it.
well, I just got this yesterday late, and all I got through was the first page, and I pulled out all these ordinances that were amended, because I've got them all here in this folder, and I thought, okay, why was 2019-017? I didn't know if that, because it was something different, you just didn't want to include it since you're including all these other old ones.
I mean, in all fairness, isn't pretty much the gist of what we're discussing is to pretty much just do away with the whole 90% for the first 90 days? So wouldn't that encapsulate everything to make it
Well,
simple?
It's,
long as it's
it's
listed.
doing away with these other ordinances, but don't have anything to do with the 90-day. It's part-time stuff.
But as Ben said, we could modify the ordinance to reflect that, correct, for an amendment?
Yes, so the intention behind, the reason why this is not just specific to the 90% for 90 days is because, for this very reason, because this this ordinance has been amended so many times.
Sure.
It's difficult to find out exactly where your department's specific salary comes from, because you can't just go back and look at the 2017 version because it's been amended. The hope was to try to re-encapsulate everything that had been amended. Obviously, I missed one. I apologize for that. The purpose is so that at least as of today, or as of the passing of the new ordinance, you could go there to find everything concerning all department salaries, including, if the council desires, you would see that the 90% for 90 days no longer applies. So anything in this ordinance that has been changed other than the 90% is just adding in any of those previous amendments to this ordinance so that it's all recapitulated in one document. Those are the only changes that I made, other than removing the 90% language from Section 8, which is the probationary period.
It's an attempt to clean things up a little bit, is that at the same time? Yeah.
Well, because the county doesn't have the ordinances are not kept in a codification that you can easily reference. My hope was to try to make it a little bit easier on everybody to find, if anybody in their department wanted to know what their
I have them
part-time
all right here
provisions
in
are, or
this
anything
folder
else.
if you ever need them.
I make a motion, we table it until next month. We've got in trouble before by passing something we've not seen. So I'll make a motion to table it till next month.
Second.
Well, I don't know that we've got,
Been
It hasn't been
introduced.
yeah, we
introduced yet.
haven't got anything introduced at this point, but if you'd like us to, if you'd like some time to,
I think it's okay to button it up a little bit and revisit it. I don't think it's a problem. It's a small oversight. I think it's fine.
I
Ben,
have
it's not a big
no
deal.
idea
No,
what
I
I'll
think,
be
no, I
voting
don't
on
think so
today.
either.
Yeah, I don't,
Dan.
it's not a big deal, Ben.
If I could mention something, I know that we talked about this in the previous council meeting, and I think we all have a pretty good understanding of what we were going to be discussing. And if I'm hearing the feedback from the people who contacted me, and from what I hear from the department's head, their time is now, and it is kind of urgent. And I know it's to due diligence to,
Don't you have to have
it makes
something
sense to
introduced?
wait a month but it seems pretty simple. And I just figured to throw that out there so we could all have time to contemplate that there are people who might possibly be really dependent on this. I know there was a job fair, and there was some success from that. I don't know what the feedback was on some of the applicants as far as if this 90-day rule was something that was turning them off from wanting to accept employment, or if it was a non-factor. But I think that's important to know because it could add some urgency to our decision.
Unless you're going to suspend the rules, you're not going to.
The other thing, if I could ask if somebody could help me, and I apologize for not knowing the answer already. In the first 90 days, do the employees get benefits and insurance already? 60. So they're already lacking that on top of the 90% pay. So I would just ask if everybody could.
Before we go any further on discussion, we don't have anything on the table at this point. Since this is an ordinance, what we would be doing today, if we decided to move forward with it, would be to introduce that ordinance. My intent was to try and push to suspend the rules and get this done today. If we can't do that, or if we don't feel comfortable doing that, what we'd be doing today would just be introducing that, and then we would pass that at the next meeting. If there are amendments, those could be corrected. Any questions anybody has could be taken care of from now till next month's meeting.
I hate to vote to introduce it when I haven't seen it.
It was sent yesterday morning.
Well,
I
you know,
I know.
Yeah, this was the
I didn't even
same,
see it till after.
this was the same one we discussed last month. The only addition to it would have been the one that to include or exclude the one that we passed last month, so.
So, do you guys want to introduce it and second it before, because you're not supposed to discuss it
Yep,
until
I
then.
agree.
Well, based off of our meeting we had last month, President Alexander made some comment about if he heard something back from the council. So after some feedback, I did reach out and asked to have it put on the agenda. So for that reason, I would like to make a motion to introduce.
Okay.
But don't
So
we have a
I'll make the
to table
motion.
it on-
Well,
There's nothing to table.
yeah, there's nothing to
Nothing
table
there.
because there's
Okay.
nothing been
We
put on
need to take up an issue at this point.
yeah.
Need a
Well,
second.
do we want to discuss it then? I
Gotta
mean,
get a second.
We-
Second, let's
Right now,
discuss it.
okay, we've got a motion from Webb, a second from Ballard. Now let's go to discussion on that.
so, I mean, I don't disagree with you, Ryan, when it comes to the idea of passing it. I don't think anybody, at least on my end, is against that. But, I want to make sure Ben's gone through everything thoroughly before, I'm just not comfortable necessarily putting a yes vote to something I haven't even necessarily seen. So I think it's got us in trouble in the past. I'd rather Ben look at it, we'd be accurate with it and 100% sure when it comes to, that. So I don't know that I'm necessarily okay with passing something and not seeing it.
Well, I think from my discussion with several council members over, from last meeting to this meeting, there was some desire to continue this discussion and bring this forward. I think it does make things a little harder on the hiring end to have to explain to a potential employee that they're going to have to take less for the first 90 days on there, and I think it probably maybe causes us some hiring issues. Maybe we're not able to get some of the candidates that we like across the board. So I'm supportive of doing something, but I'm also supportive of getting it right. So it will take 2 meetings unless we're able to suspend the rules on this. So if everybody wants to, I think now if one of the council members wants to table this and get the information corrected, we
Just
can go that
introducing
route,
it. You
or
wouldn't
we
have
can,
to table
You don't have to table it.
if you just introduce it.
Right,
If
right.
the rules,
Get it introduced and we can get it amended.
it can still
and
be amended and then passed in the
Okay.
subsequent meeting.
So that's that would be my thought. Let's introduce it, let's
Okay,
get at
well, that's
least
where
the
we're at.
framework
Yeah.
going,
Yeah.
and we can amend it later on.
So that's what-
there's really no problem in certain aspects.
Correct.
here.
Right.
That's what we did with the motion. Now it's on the table and we can deal with it next meeting. Is
Yeah,
that what you're
since
saying?
it's an ordinance, what you'd be doing today would be introducing it, and we can amend it in there to include, so that would give us time to get things, any questions you have, on this can be answered between now and then. If there are additional amendments that we need to add at the next meeting before we adopt it, we could do that as well. The only issue is we've got an ordinance out there that is telling everybody that we're going to reduce it, but not for another 30 days, or whenever our next meeting comes up. I suppose if we have a special meeting, it could be done at a special meeting, but I think taking the time to clean it up and get it right makes sense.
I have one comment. This original ordinance was passed by previous councils, and all the amendments were passed by previous councils. And I don't think any of it was done lightly. And so what we're talking about doing here, since I haven't seen what I'm talking about, is undoing almost everything that was done by other councils. So I just want to put that on the table to think about.
It's basically just cleaning it up and putting it all into one.
Yeah, to be clear, nothing has been changed
changed.
as has been previously The only new issue on the table, including if the ordinance as presented is amended to include the language from 2019-017, the only thing changing is the 90% pay for 90 days. All this is otherwise. There are other changes if you compared this to 2017-005, but the only changes are incorporating other ordinances already passed by prior councils so that the salary ordinance is completely contained in one document as opposed to 2017-005 and 5 or 6 subsequent amendments. That was the only other change that's been made.
You just consolidate them all into one.
It's all-
Right,
it's-
yep.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Well, and it does, we've talked about that. It does,
See that?
it does remove a little bit of a safety net. It
See
wasn't,
the copy of all of them together.
going through those figures, had Pam and her office put
So
together
those
some
are
figures on the number of employees we've had over the last, and some of that money that we save by doing this is money that gets transferred to pay for part-time overtime in other departments rather than going to the general fund. So, it was good, but now we're to a point where we're having, like everybody else, I mean, we're not unlike anybody else. Matter of fact, we went down to the county council meeting,
It doesn't say. they're gonna
state called
have
county council
90%.
meeting, and everybody's having the same kind of problems
Because that's
in
a
every
probation
county.
period.
So it's not just specific to Delaware County, but I think it's something we can do to improve the package, getting people hired, I think, and I guess it makes sense. I think the offset makes sense to at least consider it. That's where we're at. So it's whatever you guys want to do. Right now, we have a motion to introduce.
Let's vote.
And he
So
seconded
there's
it.
a second as well, correct?
Yeah, you were the
Yeah.
second.
Oh, so now what?
If you guys are done talking, we'll vote.
You're the one that's been talking.
Okay. I'll quit.
Zing.
Roll call, please.
Well done.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
No,
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter?
No. And just for the reason I mentioned before, we've done this for years. I can't, and absolutely nothing against Ben, but we've done this for years, and I guess I don't see why another month to have it in our hands that we can look it over, make something much different.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
Okay, so it's 4-2.
Okay, so the motion's introduced. It doesn't mean that we can't make changes throughout this next time. Are there any changes we want to direct at this point to update?
Other than the 2019-017, I'm good.
Yeah, and Ben just needs to look at it. Maybe you don't want it in there, but it's just like all the others.
Well, it gives us an opportunity to check it out before next month, so
Should kept my mouth shut.
I'm glad you
It doesn't
didn't.
need to be amended, right?
Next month.
Because why would it need to be amended if it was just introduced? We've always been able to make changes and then do the second reading.
Yeah, we'll
That's
make,
up to you, Ben. Can those changes be made and
Yes.
presented at the next?
yes, and
Okay.
then we can just amend the ordinance as presented, in this case to include 2019-017, and then it would, we wouldn't have to reintroduce the.
There might be more, because I haven't had time to go through them all. so.
Well, this will give us the time to get that done, so. All right.
But I do want to say one thing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
State your name for the record.
Yeah. Tell us who
Pam
you are,
McCammon.
who you are and where you're from, please.
Pam McCammon, Human Resources. On the 90 days, if everybody would take that money back to the 100%, everybody get paid. We can still, we're at an at-will state. If the person we hire is not doing their job, they can still be on a 90-day probation.
Well, that's
And
in
after
there.
that 90 days probation, we can terminate them. So remember that when you're thinking all this, because that's.
It's in there like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the,
Okay, I haven't read all this, because.
it's in the
That's not
proposed
fiscal,
ordinance.
that's not fiscal. The part of the 90 days is fiscal of the deduction and, or,
Well, yes, but you're
so
also,
so the probation period for disciplinary or whatever has nothing to do with council's function. That's not our function.
She's just,
you're kind of making it a function though, so that's
Well,
why I'm
kind
explaining.
of, yeah, by putting it in that ordinance. It's just watering down the ordinance is what it's doing.
I don't agree with that, but anyway, what I'm saying,
Taking all the
you guys
money
know
out
what
of
I'm
it.
saying. We can still terminate them within 90 days if they're not doing their job, even though they got paid at 100%.
Scott, can
Considering that,
I say something?
As long as it's short.
considering that if you want.
Well, I'm not
Oh,
going to,
yeah, any.
Don't talk too long, you'll get in trouble.
I know Donna will get mad because apparently I talk way too much, but, Fred Cummings, 911 Director. While you guys are making, like, changes, one of the things that really jumps out at me here, I'm not ever going to be able to hire somebody at $12 an hour part-time. So if you set this in an ordinance, I'm kind of stymied as to what I can do. Typically, at least in emergency services, I'm not going to speak for anybody else in any other department, but typically when you hire a part-time employee, you do so, you want to try to find somebody that's somewhat trained. And it's a benefit to a county or a municipal government because you're not paying them benefits. But trying to hire somebody at $12 an hour to do the function of 911 is not going to work. So if you're going to make changes to this, I would implore you to maybe look at that figure a little bit differently than what's in here currently. I didn't see this until this morning, but I wouldn't be doing what I should be doing if I didn't bring this to your attention now. It's just, it's not practical.
There's different levels of part-time.
So it goes from $12 to $16 an hour once they're fully certified, and I pay somebody currently, if they were at 90% at $16.06, and that's somebody that comes in to learn. I would never be able to hire a 911 dispatcher part-time at what is in this ordinance currently. It's not even possible.
Come on, Fred, are you trying to say that a fully certified part-timer at 16 is competition for Mike's Car Wash at $16.50?
That's kind of where I'm going. Typically, in other places that I've been, part-time employees are actually paid more hourly because we're not paying them benefits. It's a benefit, it's a huge benefit to the county, or any municipal government. I would ask that this at least be changed to allow to hire part-time people at what we're paying full-time people. That would be my request, but I can tell you that as this is written, if this becomes a rule, after you guys vote on it, I'll never be able to hire a part-time person.
it's no different than where you're at right now, but Pam and I have already talked about this, and this is something that we're going to look to address at budget time.
Right, and that's fine, but what I'm saying is if you pass this ordinance, this limits what I could hire. I'd have to come back to you and do an amendment to this ordinance. So what I'm saying is now that you're changing it right now,
It's already an ordinance.
Yeah, it's already an
right,
ordinance.
but
He's just
you're-
saying,
but
since
you're
we're
gonna
considering
change it.
changing it, consider this as well.
You're gonna change it. So this is the time for me to stand up here and say, please change that dollar amount so that I don't have to come back to you again in a few months and ask you to change it again. If you pass this the way it is, I'm gonna have to come back and ask for something different.
So now he's asking for us to, while we're taking up the ordinance, he's saying you should
Asking for an
increase that
additional
amount. so that-
amendment.
Yes.
Well,
For just
because
that department.
You and
I can't speak for any other
They
department. so-
hire paramedics on part-time from other counties, I know that for a fact. Truck drivers at the highway, you might want to hire a truck driver. That's why I think we're trying to consolidate something here that's been thought out in the past, and we need to study this some more before it's finalized.
That's all I'm asking, Scott, is that if you're gonna pass this, please, and like I said, I won't speak for any other department head, but if you're gonna pass this new ordinance or this consolidation ordinance, now is the time to look at these amounts.
All the amounts, yep.
All right, thank you.
I feel like those are budget issues.
Well, but they're in the salary ordinance, and that kind of binds you in the budget time. You can't go over your own ordinance at budget time. You can, number of dollars you put in the part-time budget, but the salary ordinance and part-time ordinance would fix those rates. That's why I said, this has been done over a period of a long time. Different council members have had different issues to face. One of them was financial when we had the tax caps. I can't remember all of them, but these various amendments were not done lightly. They were done by people sitting in these chairs that wanted to do what was right. And we hired, at one time, way back, when Todd Donati was president, we hired a professional, paid him $10,000 to come in here and evaluate all of our salaries, do job descriptions professionally, the whole 9 yards, and established all these rates. Well, times have changed. Well, now we're at a new time. We need to make sure what we do now fits the new time, doesn't just accumulate all the old stuff and puts it into a new format altogether. That's my problem right now. And I have not seen the document, so I apologize. I'm sort of talking off the wall, but I'm also talking off experience.
If I could comment just a second on what you just said, Ron, you brought up a good point, and that's not to, my support for this, and I'm sure anyone else who would even consider supporting it, isn't to undermine anything that any previous council member has done, whether they're sitting up here now or in previous years. It's just to recognize that the time is, and you said it just a second ago, times have changed, but it's, Scott alluded to it a minute ago, everybody knows the private sector, the government. It's a different world out there for hiring people, and it's not the same as it used to be, where it's, either take his job and like it or tough. Now they'll go somewhere else. You got to almost coddle them a little bit or pay them a little bit more. It's a little, you got to almost custom make the job for them. So it's not to undermine what anybody else has done before, but it's got to be realistic. And you mentioned that pay study, and I'll be honest, if we did a pay study right now, we'd all be in trouble, because I guarantee everybody's way under what they needed to be, and we've got to address these issues before we get so far behind the 8 ball that we can't make it up. And
My no vote was not that I'm opposed to the 90 days. My no vote was because we haven't read it. We've been in trouble before for not studying these issues before we vote on them. I'm not opposed to the 90 day. I mean, I will vote on that. But, well, I think we already have a vote, so
Yep.
let's move on.
All right, good discussion. Let's see. Okay, we've got a couple appointments to the Convention Center Authority. And the two current appointments that we have been interested in staying, and that's Jessica Piper and Mary Ann Cradaville. Have both done a good job on the board. I'm on that board also as president, so I can certainly vouch for them, and I would entertain a motion to extend their term and reappoint them.
So moved.
Second.
How long a term is this?
Is that,
Needs to be in the record.
2 years.
It's a
that's a
two-year
two-year
term.
term, yeah, yeah.
I came on 2 years ago.
Okay, so we've got a motion from
Jane?
Lassiter and a second from Ballard. Any discussion from council?
If I could say just real quick before we vote on this, I just wanted to take this moment. It seems like a good time to remind everyone, encourage any private citizen out there, really anyone who wants to get involved on the boards and commissions. A lot of them are kind of appointed at the end of the year, beginning of the year, but there are some that are appointed in the middle of the year, such as these two. So I would encourage you to reach out through the emails that Scott provided earlier or to some other council members and throw your name into the hat, or throw your hat into the ring if you're considering one to be considered for one of these positions in the future. So I just wanted to point that out there, that you can contact one of these folks for consideration for any future board appointments.
Right, and some of those boards are politically balanced, so that plays a factor as well, so.
And this one is.
Yep.
Clicking your
Roll
pen.
call, please, Donna.
Mr. Quakenbush,
Yes.
Mr. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Ballard.
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter.
Yes.
Ms. Piper.
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, we're on to financials, transfers. Donna, are you
Yeah,
reading
you
today?
ready?
Okay.
Okay, communications, 124A minus 19,988.24, 124B plus 19,988.24, 132A minus 18,333.98, 132B minus 18,333.38, total request 0.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Ballard. You're just, this one was approved in finance, and they're just replacing employees.
Yep, to answer, because I know Ryan will ask. One is a promotion, one is a retirement, and one probation stole, which I'm still not over yet, so that's why we don't sit next to each other anymore.
One's probation, one's retirement or something,
What's the last one?
One was a promotion.
but promotion and retirement.
I had two on the regular one and one on the addendum, so I'm just talking about all three.
I don't think.
I only see two.
Yeah, there's one on the addendum. There's one on the addendum, too.
Okay.
We're not voting on it right
You're just
now.
getting ahead of the.
I am, because I don't want to talk too long, because Don will yell at me, apparently, so.
Appreciate that.
You're not gonna forgive that, are you?
Nope.
We've got a,
I'd already warned him.
See?
we've got a motion and a second, don't we, Denise, on this?
Yes.
Okay, roll call, please, Donna.
Mr. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Ballard.
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter.
Yes.
Ms. Piper.
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush.
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes.
Election, 225 mills minus 10,000, 311 legal, 10,000, total request is 0.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Ballard. You want to tell us about this? I think there's some questions on this one.
Yeah, we had the election board was sued over some people that were removed from the ballot. They had the litigation where we got the case dismissed, and then they asked that it was heard again, and it was. We were successful in both cases. So we won, and we get a paid attorney.
What-
Cost us money to win.
Who are we, what, there's an election board attorney, right?
Right, Donald McClellan.
Is that who?
Yes, that's who.
Who had to, and this went to trial or went to
Hearings.
hearings?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had an outside judge appointed for both.
Since we won that case, is there no way to make the person responsible?
Now, really, they have the right to challenge the ruling, and so they did.
But it cost the county $10,000.
Cost us $10,000 to win.
So you had to prove you were right, huh?
It's the cost of doing business, huh?
That's right.
So is this coming out of these precinct mills going to be a problem since this is a
No, we had,
midterm year?
we did have the extra money with, one of the good things of the primary being a small election is we didn't have the expense in a primary that we normally had. So we was able to take that money out of the meals, and we will still be fine for the fall.
Just get peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, that's all.
Right.
Totally unrelated, but if we was ever successful enough to go to vote centers, is this a cost that you could see being reduced since we would have less voting
About
precincts to go
meals
to?
now?
Yeah, any of the
Yeah, oh,
meals,
yes.
all the election
Oh, yeah.
expenses.
If we can successfully set up vote centers, we'll need less people. We'll need less meals because of less people. So, yeah, that's we've got the equipment. We just need the vote from the election board to do that.
Yep.
All right, any other questions from council? Roll call, please, Donna.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jail, E-108 corporal, minus $20,340.44. F-108 plus $20,340.44. Total request zero.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Lassiter. Just changing positions on this one.
Correct.
Any questions from council?
Is it internal or is it an employee who's left in Delaware County?
A demotion and a new, there was a demotion and someone's going to be put in.
But we still got the same amount of employees?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Roll call, please,
Motion and
Donna.
promotion. Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
Sheriff, E-116 Sergeant, minus $3,810. 160. Crime Units Technician, plus $3,810. Total request zero.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Ballard. There was a pretty considerable amount of discussion and finance on this one. You want to kind of explain that to the rest of the council and the public, I guess?
Nancy Marvin, Office Manager, Delaware County Sheriff.
Chuck Zimmer's Director for the High Tech Crimes Unit in the Prosecutor's Office.
So Chuck is giving $50,000 a year towards this high-tech crime unit salary. It's going to start in July 1, so we're getting half of the money. The only amount of money that was short would be part of the benefits. Because we hadn't filled a promotional line for so long, I had enough money to cover all the benefits for this position, so the county is having to pay nothing out of the budget. I've taken care of it for the remainder of this year. Obviously, when we go into 2023, Chuck is giving the full $50,000, and that is actually like $1,000 over into the benefits, but the county would have to come up with the remaining amount of the benefits for 2023. But what this person could go into the general sector and the public and make, this is a huge bargain for the county. And high-tech crimes are not going to go away. They're just going to keep getting worse, so.
Basically, out in the private sector, this person could expect to start at $84,000. I attempted to hire a graduate from AU at about half of that. He's going to Charlotte for the $84,000. If we've got a girl that's interested, she's very qualified, and she's committed to staying in this area, at least for the immediate time. So I'm hoping we can keep her here, get her involved. at this incredibly reduced salary. So, and the title is Digital Forensic Analyst. If you want to Google it, you'll be astounded what she's worth. So,
Any other questions from council? Roll call, please, Donna.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
4B Court. 105 security bailiff minus $162, 177 long-term disability plus $162, total request 0.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Quakenbush.
Yes.
Questions from council?
Let me explain that.
Please.
Emily Anderson, Court Administrator. So remember how we had to come back to appropriate money for benefits because they've increased? Well, 4D had a person go over to sheriff. And so he had built-in longevity in his pay line that they already had extra money to cover. So instead of me having to come back and appropriate out of 4D, I just took it out of that extra money. So I was going to have to appropriate, but I found the extra money in their budget to do that. So this is just covering that long-term disability, the rates that went up on that.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Roll call, please, Donna.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
CASA donation fund, A104, family court manager. I have a correction, that is now minus 7,900 even. B104, family recovery court manager plus 7,900. Total request 0.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Ballard. Questions from council? Roll call, please, Donna.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
VOCA grant, A104, family recovery court manager, minus $10,380.11. B104, family recovery court case manager, plus $10,380.11. Total request 0.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Lassiter. Questions from council?
It's just an employee
Yeah,
replacement.
we haven't posted it yet, but they're gonna be posting it probably this coming month.
Okay. Did they leave?
Yes.
Thank you.
Roll call, Donna.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. On to the addendum.
Okay, the addendum. Communications Center, 123F, minus $18,560.51. 123G, plus $18,560.51. Total request 0.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Ballard. Questions from council? This is the one he talked about earlier, I think, when he was up there. Roll call, please, Donna.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
Jail, B110 minus 16,842.44. C110 plus 16,842.44. Total request 0.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Quakenbush, and those were both 16,842.44. Donna?
Yes.
Yep, right. Questions from council?
Yes, Nancy. Is this employee left the employment of the county, or have they moved on somewhere else within the
Left
county?
the county.
Okay, thank you.
What is it? Left the county, I'm sorry.
Any other questions from council? Roll call, please, Donna.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard? Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
High-Tech's Crime Unit?
Skip mine.
Oh,
Sheriff.
what?
29.
Sheriff E116 minus $4,766. B101 Sheriff plus $4,766. Total request 0.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Webb.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Sure.
Questions from council? You want to explain this?
Every July 1, state mandates a prosecutor's salary. The sheriff makes 90% of the prosecutor's salary, so every July 1, if the prosecutor gets a raise, the sheriff will get a raise. This is what his raise will be for the remainder of this year and until July of 2023. I had money left on the sergeant's line where we had not promoted, and I was able to cover that so it didn't cost the county any more money. Took it from within my own budget.
Is this for the last 6 months of this year?
Last 6 months of this year and the first 6 months of 2023.
How can you do the first 6 months of 2023?
You can't.
It will be in 2023. It's in my new budget at this new rate.
But this 4,000 is just half of what the raise is.
Correct.
Yeah, this is just the second half of
This is
2022.
for 6 months.
Correct.
And then there'll be another 4,766.
Now, next year it'll be
Next year's budget, I already have it all in there.
9,000.
Yeah, I already have it all in there. No.
94.
Remember, in July again,
it's-
if the
it's
prosecutor would get a raise, I would have to make a
fiscal.
new increase in July.
Right, but you need,
But for the
But you
for the
got a
year of
budget for the whole
2023, you'll have
year.
the whole year set up, which would be about
Correct.
9,400.
No, I will
Yes.
have the first six.
you have to budget for the whole year next year regardless.
I understand that. I have that full amount in there. This whole thing is in there for this increase. But again, in July, if he gets another raise, I will have to come back and ask for more money.
Right.
And hopefully I have it within my own budget. I can take care of it.
I'm gonna be a little nitpicking here, but I
that's-
know when the sheriff was elected, that particular statute or directive from the legislature or whoever put it in place came, and I was the assumption that the Indiana statute says you cannot, shall not change an elected official's salary after the first of the year.
Right.
So I'm not so sure how we're getting around this. I mean, I don't know the statute, but need a little legal advice here.
I'll have to look, I don't have it in front of me, I'll have
That's
to
a
look it
law
up.
says you can't.
Tony Skinner, Delaware County Sheriff. I don't have the statute number either, but there are exceptions to Indiana statutes, and that is one.
Okay.
In the contract that I agreed to and the council and the commissioners signed after I was elected, that was a part of that contract also. So,
Well, I'm just curious, the state's contradicting themselves when they
It's-
tell us to do an annual budget,
the-
but they do a fiscal budget.
state codes are full of exceptions. Criminal codes, so it's merely an exception.
Well, that's fine, but
I'm just
I
glad we
just,
got
I need to
some.
be clear that this $4,766, does that cover a year or does it cover 6 months?
It covers for the remainder of this year to get me to the end of the year. When
Okay.
I have my budget submission for 2023, I have the full rate of his salary on the salary line, but understanding that come July 1, I may have to move more money
You know,
again.
I agree with
She
that.
said-
I
but
put it all over.
You're
into
saying the
2023.
full rate is 9,000 more than what it was for this year, right?
When
For
she turns in the
2023.
budget next year, it's gonna be automatically an
An
increase of
I
$9,400.
have it in the budget. for
And that's
next
how you
year.
have it,
Yes.
9,400 increase.
560.
I have it,
Okay.
yes.
I just,
That's what he asked, and
Yeah.
that's not what you said a minute ago, so I wanted to make sure.
I have the full amount there, but again, I may have to come back in July.
Don't have the full
Right.
amount there, obviously, they're gonna raise it again, so.
If they do, it's all the state statute. If they decide the prosecutor isn't getting a raise, then the sheriff won't get a raise.
well, I'm glad the clarification. I was wondering why Tony offered to buy our breakfast all budget week. Now I know what it was.
That's
A
it.
new raise.
Yep, there you go.
I like biscuits and gravy.
Lobster. I'm eating lobster for breakfast.
You want lobster. There you go.
Any other questions from
Bougie
council?
like that.
Well, that's the wisdom of the state.
Yeah.
Roll call, please, Donna.
Mr. Quakenbush,
Yes.
Mr. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Ballard.
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter.
Yes.
Ms. Piper.
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes.
Now, high-tech crime unit. 211 supplies plus 2,000, 361 software maintenance plus 1,000, 393 schooling minus 8,000, 441 computers plus 2,000, 442 furniture plus 3,000, total request 0.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Ballard. I didn't catch this in finance, but there's, where it says other, there's no, where's this coming out of? Is it
High-tech crime unit.
the grant fund?
It's,
Oh, there it is, okay, all right, below it.
it just didn't put the fund number on there.
I have a question on this as well. Normally something like that, high tech, I'm assuming that's an evolving field, that the technology is always evolving and improving. I noticed that we're pulling out 8,000 for schooling, and part of the increase is for furniture for 3,000. What furniture is 3,000 that would justify pulling it out of schooling?
We just got a Ball Brothers Foundation grant for $50,000. Over $20,000 of that is set aside for schooling. I'm still tooling up the unit as it's an ongoing process. We're learning what we need. I needed another desk, some cabinets, things of that nature. I don't know that I'll need the full 3,000 for furniture, but I want it in there. My hope is to grow. The high-tech crimes unit in South Bend is running 23 employees. If I add one more person, I'm going to have to find a new spot. So, I mean, none of this money comes out of the county. It's all state provided. So I'm probably going to be moving stuff around pretty regularly. As a new piece of equipment comes out, I might not have that left. I'm going to have to scrape it together from 3 other lines and move it in. So this will be an ongoing process. I just could move it out of the schooling of the high-tech crimes unit because I have gotten a lot more of schooling funding from the Ball Brothers. And that's a set, it's not as flexible.
Okay.
I need to use that, that's what's been approved there. But this, I can move around to all these different areas where I'm needing to make changes, additions, so.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, you explained in finance that on the ball grant, you had to go back to them to get a modification of the grant.
Right, even
Could
on
use the
that,
money elsewhere.
what we submitted to them at the beginning of the grant process, I had purchased almost everything on that because I needed it to function. So we had to submit a new, but, I mean, that was another process. I submitted a new budget to them, they approved that, and that's what I'm currently working on, or off.
Call for the question.
Roll call, please, Donna.
Mr. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Ballard.
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter.
Yes.
Ms. Piper.
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush.
Yes.
Mr. Alexander.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the next one should, instead of Supreme Court grant, that really should just say Community Corrections 9220 is the fund number. 108 Administrative Assistance minus $16,730.78. A108 Administrative Assistance plus $16,730.78. Total request 0.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Ballard. Questions from council?
From who? I'm sorry, who made the motion? Jess? And Ballard.
Morning, Jane.
Good morning.
This particular
This was
employee,
discussed and
employee
approved by
replacement,
the
correct?
finance committee.
I'm sorry, Ryan, what?
Is this an employee being replaced?
She left to go be a stay-at-home mother. Yes.
Good for her. Thank you.
Any other questions from council? Roll call, please, Donna.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush? Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from,
Ballard.
is that Ballard? Okay. Questions from council?
Yeah.
It's
Say
just
exactly what it is?
it's just the increases in the rates. So we found it in her grants to cover her employees. So
Thank you.
yep.
Roll call, please, Donna.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
CASA Fund, 175, long-term disability, $180, total request, $180.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Webb.
Yes, sir.
This is the same thing. It's a fund that's part of her funding
Okay.
to cover it.
Roll call, please, Donna.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
Circuit Court adult user fees, 441, office machines, $35,121. Total request, $35,121.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Webb. Questions from council?
This is what last month we talked about. Half was going to come out of his probation user fees, and half was coming out of my budget, the county court budget. So this is going to cover all the computers he needed to get. This is going to cover, I think, 23 PCs.
That's right. This is when we're talking about the furniture and the computers.
Yes.
This is the computer
This is the
portion.
computer portion. Yep.
Are you guys going laptops or desktops?
Desktops, they're cheaper and they last longer.
Alright.
And I'll tell you, PCs, and this is what I paid for them about a month ago, and they could be even higher than they are now. They are at, I told them I had a sticky note. Oh. They're
got-
I think they're $945 just for the PC at this, yeah. PCs are $945, and then you have to put Microsoft Office, which is $291. So they're costing over $1,100 just for one PC. And laptops are much more expensive, and they don't last as long, so. We do have some laptops up there that we had purchased for pandemic reasons, but we're replacing with the PCs. And we'll use laptops as long as we can use them.
Roll call, please, Donna.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cume Building, 212 security badges, $944. Total request, $944.
Move to approve.
Motion from Piper, second from Ballard. Questions from council?
Yes. These security badges, what are these for? Anybody say?
Hang on a minute.
Our badges?
Sorry to bring you all the way up here. Right. What does the badges do? Buzz you in the door?
Yep.
Okay. That's about it.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate that.
Well, I mean, 'cause I only come here once a month, and the guy downstairs knows me, so I'm assuming for guys who come in here every single day, he knows them. So I was just curious, what do we actually get for the badges?
Yeah, there's access points around the building, and you can use those to
Well, in
enter
our
the building.
facility, you can't get anywhere without a badge.
Okay.
Like, you can't get in anywhere. The whole thing's shut down.
Got it.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't be able to get in to see any of us without a badge.
Be a travesty,
Which is
for
what we
sure.
want.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Whether they recognize you or not.
Roll call, please, Donna.
Mr. Webb?
He can. Yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yeah.
Did he say yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
She said yes.
God, I can't hear you guys. Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
You see him?
No. $944. Okay.
I bet you'll hear her on this one.
Fairgrounds, 305 contractual services, 25,000, 352 gas, 25,000, total request, 50,000.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Quakenbush. Questions from council?
I just pointed out, I had this question at finance, this is not for gasoline.
No,
This is for
gas for the
natural
buildings.
gas for heating the
Utilities, yeah.
buildings.
Yep.
Yeah, we, I think, went under the understanding for a few minutes there that this was for gas or fuel, but
No.
it's for utilities.
Utilities, yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Is this because of an increase in cost?
And the commissioners gave us 50,000 out of edit. So I put it in the fair fund. In order to spend it, I had to have it appropriated.
Awesome. Thank you, commissioners.
Roll call, please, Donna.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
I might add that the commissioners are working on a contract to combine some buildings to lower the rate, and they have included the fairgrounds with that, so possibility it might decrease the fairgrounds and the other county buildings. So let's just hope.
Maybe we can just put a big windmill up in the middle. I hear that's pretty good.
What was the wind blowing?
Yeah. Okay. JDAI 201, coordinator supplies 600, 202 food items 3,000, 340 travel and training 9,700, 350 miscellaneous 1,700. Total request 15,000.
Move to
But
approve?
can we go ahead and include the next one?
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh. 335 programs, 55,000. New total request 70,000.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Ballard. And this one wasn't able, we weren't able to discuss this, I guess, at the Finance Committee, so go ahead.
Yeah, Jeff Hanser, Chief Probation Officer. JDAI, it's a state grant we receive from the Indiana Office of Court Services every year. This year, we're in total getting $70,000, $15,000 for coordination of administering the grant. That goes for things like travel, training for our juvenile probation officers, local community folks that are involved with us as well. $55,000 for programming in the community. That about 15 different programs we're going to fund this next year for youth. It's for interventions and programmings for kids that are involved with the juvenile justice system, as well as implementing different events and activities in the community for kids who are not already involved with the juvenile justice system here to try to keep them out of it. So that's what JDAI is all about. I have a little more of a presentation I could give the council at some point in the future if you all are interested in further information.
Thank you.
It's like some preemptive efforts to detour someone who might be at risk from going down that road.
Exactly. In the probation world, we call those pro-social activities. We've had a couple skate nights just the past couple months at Gibson's, had over 100 kids attend. We have some different activities in the community that at Thule Pool, we had 100 kids come the other day and swim, provide free admission and so forth. Just trying to give kids something to do, stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
That's
How
awesome.
do you promote this so the community knows you're doing this?
Yeah, we have a Facebook page, Delaware County JDAI. If you all have Facebook or social media, you might go give it a like. We promote those events on that social media page, as well as some of the more established local community awareness social media groups in particular. That's especially how young people communicate, these days.
No, I don't know.
Heard
I'm
that.
not young people.
Or some older people too. Ron, in your case, maybe, but
I'm too past that.
What'd you say it was, JD?
Delaware County JDAI.
And then on your guys' travel, do you guys do quite a bit of travel?
Yeah, I mean, that's for, there's different probation conferences that occur like throughout the year, or different trainings that the state sponsors. So that takes some pressure off our departmental budget to provide for those conferences and events. So we're able to use these grant funds instead. So that helps.
Roll call, please, Donna.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Absolutely, yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, I don't need this crap. Okay, Supreme Court grant. 393 travel, $5,680. 395 incentives and recognition, $3,520. 396 drug screens, $2,400. Total request, $11,600.
Move to approve?
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Quakenbush.
If I may, real quick, we are asking to table this until August. We have not heard back from the state. So we have
Okay,
no
yeah,
idea
we-
when the funding is coming in.
Just for everybody's information, at Finance Committee meeting, we were looking at the balances left in this, and I think it was this one, wasn't it? That was, there wasn't enough money in there to cover this, and they were trying to get some information from the state and get this resolved by today's meeting, but we were unable.
Correct.
Okay.
Move to table.
Do we need to table that, or just have them represent that at the next meeting?
Well, we'd have to withdraw our motion.
So the,
Right now, you have a motion on the floor to
Yeah.
approve.
Just so we can withdraw it.
You can just withdraw the motion.
I-
We can withdraw
I'll
that.
withdraw my motion.
In the second
Second.
Ron.
Yes,
was Ron. We withdraw your second, Ron?
yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
You'll need to resubmit that for next month then.
No, she wants to do August.
August.
What's that?
August.
She wants to do it in August.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So we're not gonna table, she's just gonna,
Withdraw it.
Submit.
okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Jane, how are we looking for the fair? Good.
Good job.
Made my day.
Anything else, Donna?
Nope.
All right, in that case, motion to approve financial transfers and to amend salary ordinance with like reductions.
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Ballard. Roll call, please, Donna.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
yes.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
John, I have a question, and please don't say, you were an auditor, you need to know this. In the grants,
That's what I always tell her.
we discussed this at conference.
What grant?
Any grant.
Oh,
In any grant, is the, for the audit, are there expenses put in for the audit of the grant, or does the county cover those in our audit expenses?
county covers anything, any audit for the county covers.
Why doesn't the
Grant.
Why doesn't the grant cover, because you can cover the audit in the grant?
They never, when I get the bill, it's a total bill for Delaware County. Say it's 75,000. That's all, that's what's on the invoice, 75,000 for the county.
It's not itemized.
If they were going to allow, which would be great, to build those grants, but out of like, what, 50 grants in the county? Somebody's got to break that down and say they spent 20 minutes on this grant, bill them that. I don't get any detail like that. It's not detailed, they spent 2 hours on the auditor or whatever. It's a grand total, period.
Okay, do you have any idea what we spend for audit of grants? I mean, what that amount is?
I don't know how many hours they spend on it, because that's the federal part. It's not broken down.
Is that a difficult ask, ask for an itemized breakdown? We had learned about it this weekend, and the three of us were kind of like, oh, like that would be nice.
Been broken down.
But I think what they were encouraging, those.
Some years they'll be real. I've had years where they've come in and spent hours on federal. I've had years where they've hardly spent any time on the federal. Because they like pick and choose.
Sure.
Years, you know.
Chris, what does it cost us an hour for the auditors?
$150 an hour now.
Yeah. So that could total up to a pretty good sum.
I can tell you last year's audit took forever. Me and Becky didn't think it was ever going to get done. And they now, if you're a Gap County like we are, Board of Accounts doesn't actually do the audit. They, I'm going to say farm it out to accounting firms. So we have what was called BKD, which is now called Fervis. They do the audit. They bill the state. The state still bills us the normal $150 an hour. And last year, I was told that BKD was getting a little upset because it was taking so long to do the audit, and the state only allowed them so much money, and they had surpassed, and they were going to take a loss. Well, this year, we just started the audit, a month ago, and they think they're going to be done by the end of the month, next month. Last year, it took probably 6 months. It's horrible.
So they're gonna get her done quicker.
And the problem is now, mainly Becky, does all the work because nobody comes in the building no more.
I can't
So
remember that part.
we have to scan stuff in, look stuff up. We've got this, we have to go into BKD and there's like 10 tabs down at the bottom. And you have to click on the tab and we have like open items and we have to look and see what they want. Then, like I said, mainly Becky finds the reports or stuff. We have to scan it in, put it back into BKD. Becky and I have Zoom meeting every Monday and Wednesday with these people. Every Monday and Wednesday, they add more stuff. We think we're getting caught up. Next thing you know, this week we've got a bunch of stuff to get done. Jim was on vacation last week, and so I had a whole section of IT stuff that I had to send to Jim because now he's got to get all that information back to me so I can put it back in the system. We're doing all the work. It's horrible.
I've heard this before, but this
But
conversation.
so be it, but
would
it's
it-
very expensive, but
Would it be worth our time to investigate that, to see if that audit can be built into the grant?
Be itemized.
go ahead if you want. I mean, all you have to do is contact Board of Accounts.
But
They're the ones that brought it up.
I have a question for the
And they
for the
need to send a
grants.
detailed billing, because like I said, I've got 50 grants out there. Somebody's got to sit down and tell me how much time they would have to put in the invoice that they spent this amount of time on this fund number, on this grant, and this is what it should be billed. I don't get anything like that. I don't even know BKD that does the audit could even tell you that. I don't know. I can't
Well,
answer that
okay,
question.
somebody does, because they were talking about, didn't you get the impression that from conference that,
Yeah, basically, they're building in an audit amount, a percentage or something into the grant funds to be able to pay for auditing in the grants, because they.
I've never heard of that.
Well,
I've never seen a grant.
Well, it was new to us.
I've never seen a grant that even
So,
says that.
just from the grant perspective, we have to have grants that are specific as what we spend. If I don't have that in my grant, I can't pay that.
Right.
So if we start doing that, we have
Never seen it, have you?
I've
And
never
I've
been.
never seen it. built
No.
into
So
a
I'm
grant.
just saying, if I have a grant that I'm already have that they're auditing, and you come with me at an invoice for that grant, I can't pay it.
Right.
So if that's something we're gonna do, then we'd have to be told that
Add that
while
when
we
you write
apply.
it.
Yes.
well, I just asked since we.
Yeah.
Since
I mean, we could always ask for it if it's something we could ask for in our grants.
Right.
if it's something she can get.
It was just new to us, so we
Yeah.
were, all three of us were
But
like
I've never
writing
seen
notes
anything
and-
like that either.
I mean, I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Honestly, so.
All right, let me get back to the agenda here. Any department heads, elected officials?
Tony Skinner, Delaware County Sheriff. I've been instructed to not take forever. But I would like to take this time, not for you, but for the 24,000 people who are watching,
29.
29,000 people who are watching.
Hey, it's growing every month.
The Delaware County Sheriff's Office is hiring. We have openings for merit deputy. The application process ends at the end of this week. You can fill out a pre-app on DelawareCountySheriff.org. The jail is also hiring. You don't have to go through the website for the jail. Just go to HR here at this building or go to the Justice Center, grab an application. But I would be remiss if I didn't bring that up at this time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Anybody else? Any council members?
I do have the handouts that were given to us at conference. If anybody, I've got one for 911, revenue for road and bridge funding, economic forecast for rates and budgets.
She did the last one.
Local government finance, Donna. That's it.
I'll take some of those after the meeting.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
gave Donna a packet,
Yeah.
so I've got an extra packet for Donna while I was down there. I usually try and remember to do that, and this time I not only remembered to get it, but I remembered to give it to her today. So that was good. It was a good session. The same struggles we're having here, they're having everywhere else, with the exception of a few counties that are rich in revenue down there. So
They don't know those problems, do they?
they don't. Well, yeah, to a much lesser extent, that's for sure. But anyway, it was good meeting. I said earlier, I'd like to. We don't need to necessarily set a date now, but I think sometime in mid-July, early August, I'd like to. For us to take some time and sit down and talk. I think in the budget request, for the most part, requested the departments to put in 5% for most of the departments. There were some other departments, like the sheriff's office, the jail, 911, highway. The commissioners called and asked if they could put in a slightly larger increase. So we did. So any of those departments that you all feel you want to meet with in a special meeting, I would rather get that out of the way, have that discussion, know where they stand and what their requests are prior to, trying to tackle that at budget time. I think it just makes for a much longer day on that day if we try and hear those. We can hear these in advance. We can talk to them. If we feel like there's some things that need to be refined before budget time, we can do that. We would need to do that kind of a meeting. We just need 48 hours notice as far as publication.
We're just talking a general special meeting.
Just a general special
Did
meeting.
something like that in the past. I can't remember what we called them. Kind of like a quorum or something.
We had pre-budget meetings.
Yeah, this would be
We
like
had a long
time ago.
this would be like a pre-budget meeting, basically. We're not really going to go into budgets, in my opinion, I guess. We would talk about some of the requests for salaries in there and then try and hash that out a little bit and try and figure out,
You wouldn't have budgets to look at.
we won't have numbers to look at, so we won't be able to really make any decisions based off of those numbers. But I think, I've sat down with several departments, and there are certainly some differing opinions from the department standpoint. There are differing opinions from a council member standpoint, and I'd like to get us all in a room to be able to hear those. And I'll set a date, I guess, on that. I'll try and talk to the department heads and make sure we can get this date to line up with all of our schedules. But I would expect it would be a meeting that would last possibly several hours. So we'd either probably schedule, in the morning through noon or afternoon through the end of the day.
Well, if I may add, for me personally, since I don't go to bed until after this meeting, later in the day is best for me.
Okay.
Get a couple
All right.
hours sleep before I gotta come here. Yeah, I've not been to bed tonight for everyone who sees me nodding off.
We'll talk about some dates that line up, and I don't think we need to have every department in, but I think there are some of them that have a little more unique schedule that they'd like to discuss, and I think that's something that we should hammer out before we get to budget hearings. So I'll get that set up. Is it 48 hours notice, or we need 10 days?
Should be if you're
Okay.
not making any appropriations or anything.
Yeah, okay.
Sheriff, here's one for you.
If I could take a second just to remind everybody to have a safe 4th of July coming up, I believe this weekend. So there's a lot of things to do throughout Muncie and Delaware County, so hope everybody gets to go out with their families and make some memories. And be safe. And don't hold no Roman candles. Your wife will be opening your ketchup bottles the rest of your life. And then on top of that, after that, we got the Delaware County Fair coming up next month as well. Jane, what day?
We actually
is
have
it?
an extension representative if you want to come speak about, I'm going to put you on the spot, you're
Yeah,
here,
because it
so.
goes 4-H everything, right?
I don't have tickets yet or anything like
But do we have a date? We have dates
You
for
want
the
to come
fair?
to the microphone, just let folks, the 24 people watching, know what's coming up, and I know we've got.
So we, Lauren Teamy, County Extension Director, we actually move out to the fairgrounds next Friday. And then from there, we have our pre-fair events. And then the actual county fair, I believe it starts the 11th. Don't hold me to that. I've been out for a month and a half.
The Midway's the 18th.
Yeah, and then the Midway's the 18th, and that goes through the 24th. Third.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, I put you up
It's
here,
okay.
but.
No, you're fine.
That's exactly what I was hoping for. Thanks for the extra information.
Yeah.
Just to let the public know, the 4-H fair usually runs the week before the grandstand events and things like that. So, but there's lots of events planned, and should be another fun one. Hopefully, the weather will be great for us all week long. It'll be 70 with a nice little breeze.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
If you wish it, it will come true.
coordinator is here if you want to have her tell you what's
Yeah.
going to be in front of the grandstand.
That'd be great.
Absolutely.
There's a benefit to having so many board members in one room, right?
Melanie Marshall, Delaware County Fair Board member. We'll start off on Saturday, which would be the 16th, with the horse and pony pole. Sunday, we'll have motocross. That's always a great event. And come out in the morning. They start running at 9 o'clock. And then they'll take a couple breaks, and we start competition at 4. Monday, we have our truck pull. We have moved that from Tuesday to Monday to avoid a conflict with another truck pull. Tuesday, we don't have any events in the grandstand. It's our dollar ride night, so come out and enjoy the carnival. Wednesday is demolition derby. Friday night is autocross, which is always another fun event. Friday night, if you didn't get enough demo derby on Wednesday, we've got more on Friday night with some added classes that we don't have Wednesday. Saturday night, we close it down with our rodeo, presented by 3 Bar J, stock contractor. So, and I know there's lots of good entertainment on the south stage. I don't coordinate that, so I can't I can't tell you what's when. So, but come out. We're going to have a drawing every night, Monday through Friday, for a free TV. You just have to visit Heartland Hall. You can pick up 1 ticket each night. The drawing will be at 9 o'clock every night, and you must be present to win. As we said, we're going to give you a minute to win it. So you better be down there when they call your name, because they're going to give you a minute, and then they're going to draw the next one. We will also be doing a 50-50 drawing that we will be selling tickets all week long, $5 a ticket. You can see any board member for those, and you do not need to be present to win that. You will have, I think, 72 hours to claim your prize for that. So
Is the county still doing the second job fair at Heartland Hall
that's
during
my
the fair as well?
understanding, and I can't tell you details on that either.
I can all stick up here. Pam and Cam, and yeah, we are going to do the second job fair. It's the Thursday. I don't have my dates in front of me either. It's the Thursday. Yeah, Thursday evening of the last week of the fair.
21st.
21st, yes, okay. And it's going to be in John Wright Pavilion. And we're going to have it, we haven't really come up with dates yet. We'd like to have it probably maybe from 2 to 6 or something, because we want the people to be able to get in free, and they start charging at 3.
Did you say Thursday?
It's on a Thursday.
That's the 28th.
No, of the fair.
Of the fair.
Is Thursday motocross
Oh.
or the Derby night?
Thursday is autocross.
Autocross, so it's the night of autocross, is that what you're
Might be,
talking?
yeah.
Great.
So the first job fair turned out really well. Had a lot of people, had a lot of turnups. We got some people hired on the spot, turned in a lot of applications, so I hope we do this time.
Great.
All we can do is try.
Good job thinking outside the box.
Thank
That's
you.
right. Thank you, thank you.
I don't see any emails that have come in, and there are no questions on Facebook that haven't already been addressed, so.
And nobody's here for public comment? Okay. Just real quick, I know
I don't think we have in public.
myself, Jessica, and Jane were down at the county council state called meeting. A lot of good information on a lot of very important topics that affect us in there, so we learned a lot. And again, I think Jane's got copies of those if you want to get a hold of any of that information. And I think that's about it. Unless anybody's got anything else, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion from Piper, second from Quakenbush. Roll call, please.
Mr.
Donna?
Ballard? Ms. Lassiter?
Yes.
Ms. Piper?
Yes.
Mr. Quakenbush?
Yes.
Mr. Webb? Mr. Alexander?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Okay.